This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
Welcome to another edition of your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. What's going on, party people? It is your boy Smooth, and welcome to another edition of your, you back there, you over there, turn around, you right there, I'm talking to you, your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Another Wednesday, another couple hours maybe of talking about sports, and more sports. Need y'all to go ahead and share this stream right now because it's going down. We on Facebook, the platform sports talk show. We on the X at 314 Sports Talk. We on Instagram at platform sports talk. We on YouTube. Subscribe and click on that bell because anytime we go live, just like we are right now, you will be notified. Also, know someone who want to be on the show, or you want the platform sports talk show crew to come out to an event, sporting wise, of course, shoot us an email, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com, and we got y'all. Also, if you can't see us for some reason, you can also listen in to us. High definition, beautiful voices going through your ears, all on the airwaves on Hot 365 Radio, where it is always hot. Go to the website, hot365radio.com, or via the app on iOS or on Android. You can also catch the replay of our most recent show each Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. They also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/hot365radio. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. Shouts out to the ladies. I call them the best panel of ladies who love sports. Then every last Wednesday of the month, you have the Man Cave, where anything, and I mean anything, can go down. And for those who may not, be as hip to sports or want to expand and get some non-sports stuff going on, I also have Smoooth Conversations. Go on YouTube, put in Smoooth Conversation. That is Smooth with 3 O's. And subscribe on YouTube. And you can also listen in on beatdistrictradio.com or go to Live 365 app via Android or iOS. Put in Beat District Radio and add as a favorite. And check out Smoooth Conversations. Goes down Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, got a lot going on in regards to everything under the Smoooth Productions umbrella. But now let's go ahead and bring in some of my co-panel list, should I say, for this evening. Up first, she is the host of Ladies Night, the best panel of ladies who love sports. Bunny, what is going on with you?
And no mute. Hey. It's been a while, right?
Right.
Okay, y'all. What's going on?
Man, good to see you. How have life been treating you?
Listen, today alone, I'm not trying to be blown away. On Friday, I got blown away, and a small piece on my house got blown away. Other than that, so of course, y'all know it's my favorite time of year, the March Madness, spring in the air with all the Easter bunnies. Yay, go bunny. So that's been going on.
That's what's up. And yeah, I'm gonna add on a little bit more in regards to what you just brought up in regards to last Friday on 314 Day. Barry,
Right.
talk about that in a second. But
Okay.
up next, another panelist from Ladies Night. She's holding things down from the boom. Woo!
Damn,
Docks.
that's a hell of a boondocks call.
Jobo, what's happening?
Look at this thing. Oh my goodness.
See, I love that you got that belly the big just for March Madness. Perfect timing.
We almost flew away last week too. Oh man. Woo! I know he's never gonna get into it, but that was some scary shit. Sorry for my language, but that was the scariest storm I've ever been alive for, I think. So but yeah, I'm happy to be here. Rocking the new Jordan Orange Stros jersey because we're gonna be doing some topics later about just baseball predictions. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, just ready to go. Ready to go. I'm kind of I ate a little bit of candy before I got on, so I'm a little jittery.
Uh-oh.
All
But
right
yeah,
now, on that sugar high, okay.
but yeah, definitely want to speak on 314 Day. As Bunny brought up about your house, and I also saw that your parents' house, their big tree fell right down in front of the house.
Mhm.
And Joe, like you said, you had some damage going on. I'm sure y'all probably saw it on social media because thanks to Real FTL News, Voice of the Peoples, and Dirk Brown, my very first post that I had on social media on Instagram,
Mhm.
Smoooth Productions, Smooth the Three O's, it went super viral, and I have like over 200,000 views from
Wow.
yeah. So my first time ever having as many views, and it reached so many people, it touched so many people, just showing the aftermath of what went down on the night of 314. Quick story. My wife and I, we had our annual 314 Day gathering where family came over to the house. So we down here in this very room that y'all see me at. We down here kicking it. I was right here at the DJ booth, holding things down. The wife be dancing, the family dancing, we get it in. All of a sudden, power cuts out, then it turns back on, then cuts back out again, and it stayed off. Then my father-in-law, he was like, well, not but he was just telling us that hey, the house next door is in bad shape, so we all go outside, and I look to the right, and their whole garage, the front of the house, all just destroyed. If y'all haven't seen it, just go to Instagram or on my Facebook page, Fred Head, and you'll see all the visuals from my drone, and it covered all the area. And you see it on TV, or you see it when you like, driving past certain areas, but like when it hits right there, it makes you just appreciate so much more because it could have been us in a worse position. We had minor damage to our home, couple of, siding here, the shingles on the rooftop, gone a little bit, not all gone, but some parts, but it's minor compared to what went down in our neighborhood. So prayers up to those affected from the tornado, excuse me, and just thankful and grateful that I'm able to be here right now streaming because we just got our power back yesterday. Because I'm like, we're wondering, okay, well, where am I going to do the show at then? How, whatever it is. But just got a power back on yesterday, and everything went down on Friday. So that's how bad things were, and things are, should I say, in the beautiful city of Florissant. But we are on the path of rebuilding and restoration, and bigger and better things are, coming for us in this neighborhood. So for everyone who showed love, reached out, thank y'all very much. We appreciate it. Never forget it. And it's all about just coming together, not just through great times, but through hard times. And I felt that. My wife has felt that. My family has felt that. So thank y'all very much as we continue to rebuild and restore at this time. And let me see his comments here. Miss Dub showing love to us. Our
Hi,
favorite.
Miss Dub.
Let's see. She said, "Glad you're all safe." She said her neighbors and her had no damage but lost power from Friday to Sunday. And yes, we're blessed. So most definitely. So like I said, gone viral. We was on ABC News. Didn't even know.
Okay.
Yeah, we was
Smooth
on.
Production. I'm sorry, not Smooth Production. What is it called again? With your drone service? What's that called?
The Smooth Moments.
Smooth Moments. Okay.
Yeah. So it was like a picture of the wifey and I after the aftermath that same night. We was on there. Then we was on like the city of Florissant, while as the Congressman Wesley Bill came to our house and others, and he was in our backyard surveying things. And I mean, it's like I said, if you just came over here and saw the scene over here in our neighborhood, you'd be like, wow. So whole lot going on, but we just want to once again to send our thank yous. And the drone definitely has garnered a lot of viewers. Got some people who probably never knew what Smoooth Productions was all about. Well, that has changed.
That's good. So a month of tragedy, you got something positive that came out of this. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I say God works in mysterious ways. It's one of the ways. You didn't think this tragedy would evolve like this, but yes.
Yeah.
For
So
you.
once again, prayers up to those affected. But let's go ahead and get right into it because we are a sports talk show and we're gonna talk about some sports. So you now have my attention. What sports story or sports stories has your attention? Jobo, I'm sure that you're ready to go out the bat. Let's go.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep all the baseball talk for later, but I'm gonna say there's no hockey topics on our list for today. The Blues that won again last night in commanding fashion, and I know it was just the Predators, but still, they looked awesome last night. It's been fun actually sitting down and watching like full games this year because it hasn't happened in a while. And also, what's up with NHL? We just played the King 3 times in a week, and now we're about to play the Predators 3 times in the next 10 days. So I'm gonna need them to get their act straight. But no, they're playing great right now. And I saw something about Montgomery saying that Parayko may not have to miss 6 weeks. We don't know yet. I don't even know if he'd be able to go on the ice or not. But the Blues are fun to watch again, and they have a chance to make the playoffs. And I did not think that was going to happen this year. So that's exciting.
I wanted to
Jobo.
bring that up, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, I would just want to say, Jobo, I got that feeling. I'm feeling it right here, feeling it right here, feeling it all right here. I'm feeling the blues right now, man. I'm feeling good. I might have a fever. I might have that blues fever going on because I'm feeling real good right now with this blues team. I'm not gonna say 2019.
I was about to ask you that. You feeling 2019 yet? No.
I'm just saying this team is peaking there, and I said this last week on the show too. But with what Jim Montgomery has done with this team and how they have blended together and they're finding themselves at the perfect time, even without Parayko for now. But I think we brought this up last week how we're not hearing anything wrong about Kyrou. We're not hearing anything wrong about this person, that person.
Kyrou's going to end the year with 30 goals.
Yeah.
Like, that's him and Holloway have been amazing to watch. Porchenko's getting it going a little bit. Zach Bolduc, like I said last week, I think it's just, I don't know, it's fun to watch right now. Hofer, again, I know the Predators are not a great team this year, which is mind blowing with the roster that they have, but Hofer looked good last night, and the team just looks good right now. So fingers crossed it keeps up. Playoffs start in April, I believe. So, I think we're still right there with the Canucks and Calgary, but it's been fun to watch lately. So I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
Shouts out to Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. It's like those two guys came in from via trade at the last minute. Is that correct, Joe? Both of them guys?
Yeah, on the offer sheets.
Yeah, offer sheets. And just showed up and showed out, man. And they're making other players better as well. that's the key, is that as you're playing on a line, you want to find out, as I said last week, that you want to bring out the best in other guys, in your teammates, in yourself. And they're doing that. So Miss Dub said they're showing good effort and some chemistry. That is so crucial. If they don't make the playoffs, it won't be for lack of trying. It'll just be because the other team is better, whatever. But I'm very confident right now in regards to how this team has showed up these last few weeks, especially since the Four Nations tournament. Like I said, I'm just impressed and hope that they can just keep this thing going. Don't take the foot off the gas and, shock the world going to the playoffs.
Yeah, the chemistry thing that Miss Williams said there is like it's probably the reason why Army didn't make any trades at the deadline, because they started playing really good about a week or so before the deadline. Obviously, people thought Parayko, myself included, after the injury, trades might have happened, but they didn't. And I don't know. This is the longest stretch of like consistently good Blues hockey that we've seen in the last like 3 years.
I will say
that's saying a lot.
On the chat, once Parayko got injured, you all were like doom and gloom. I was like, we'll see. And that's why I asked you, Smooth, if this would give me 2019 vibe. You said not yet. But 2019, they turned the ship around back in January. The Blues team is turning the ship around in March. So we are a month off for playoffs. So it is later, but you still need that momentum going. And as Ms. Dub mentioned, the chemistry, I figured with the moving parts we had, Montgomery came in, October, November? And then it's like, all right, get adjusted to his culture. He got to get adjusted to the players, how they're thinking. It started off not as bad, but damn near as bad as 2019. We weren't losing. We were just win one, lose one. So almost just as bad. But I'm looking at it now. If they're rolling the way they are, even if they're beating up on these teams that are bad, that's still what you need, that momentum. So if they can squeeze in that last playoff spot, great. If not, as Ms. Dub says, not for lack of trying. The only thing is they started clicking too late. So next year, click a little earlier, and we won't be in this position where you don't make the playoffs or you squeezing in, holding your breath. But I'm excited for it. Fred, I think you're bleeding blue now. You don't got the fever. You bleeding blue. I see it. So keep it up. Keep bleeding blue.
It's somewhere in there. You'll see it. I'm so dark skinned, so you can't see it right now. But I'm so chocolate, you can't see it right now. But it's there. It's there. And I ain't gonna be cutting my wrist. No, I ain't doing all that, people. But it's there. It's there. But yeah, my only thing, as you just said, was they found the chemistry later because Montgomery came very recently. And unlike 2019, where Berube, like you said earlier, Bunny, that the change happened right at the beginning of the year. While this change here this year, it happened over the last month. So we'll see if they have enough time to really come together even more and do some damage in regards to the playoffs. And give me matter of fact, keep on talking. Ladies, I'll be right back.
Okay. And just like that. I thought you were going to split screen us, Jobo. But I can mention what has my attention.
Go for it.
So, of course, with that big round belly of yours, I said, hey, it looks like a basketball. So what has my attention? Last week, I mentioned about my alma mater, Lincoln University, made it to the NCAA Division II tournament for the first time since 1981. Unfortunately, the guys lost their first game, but I'm happy that they made it because they won their conference championship. So what has my attention this week? Okay, my other alma mater, SIUE Cougars. They've only been in Division I for about 6 years, I believe. And what did they do? They won their conference, Ohio Valley Conference. So the champions, they punched their ticket into the big dance. Of course, they have to face the other Cougars who are the number 1 seed, University of Houston. But it has my attention because Rayshawn Taylor is the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, plays for SIUE, happened to be a part of my church at one time. So shout out to him and shout out to SIUE for pulling that off. Nobody expected them to win the conference, let alone get into the big dance. So yeah, one alma mater last week, my other alma mater. So again, love March Madness and all this basketball.
Yeah, like you said, shouts out to SIUE, first time ever going to the big dance. So it's huge. And for them to be for me, like maybe 20, 30 minutes from where I live right now, and knowing that they doing big things, going to the big dance, which matter of fact, we got Mount St. Mary's beating American. They playing the final four. I'm sorry, the first four right now. Mount St. Mary's is winning by 17 points, so they pretty much got that in the bag. But March Madness is here. Definitely excited about it. Sad about SLU. They didn't have a great finish to their season, mainly because a lot of players who they started off with the season got injured or transferred away, like Larry Hughes the second. He left the team, so he's gonna be.
That makes sense, though. Unfortunately, because when you have a new coach come in, if that's not the person you recruit, a lot of time players do that, and I understand. It's sometimes not even personal. It's like this guy did not, fit with me, and he didn't bring me here, so I don't like the plan. And think about it, the coach of SLU not have, but enough of the roster is his former players at what school did he come from?
CBC.
No, not Larry Hughes. The coach of SLU. Shirts came from
Indiana State.
Right. He brought a handful of his players from Indiana State. So think about it. So he came in with his guys, and Larry Hughes wasn't recruited by him. So I can see why he decided to jump ship. So yeah, hope the best for Larry, though, where he decides to his new team.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm sure he's gonna hold things down no matter where he goes. In regards to me, I'm gonna bring up the Blues, but Joe Bo brought it up, and I already said I'm bleeding blue. The fever going right now, the head pounding, you know what I'm saying? The Blues fever going crazy right now. But second, breaking news in regards to baseball related, for the first time in almost 10 years, I will not, and I repeat, I will not be going to Cardinals opening day. It was a hard decision.
Now,
go ahead.
What made you make this decision? Is it just because of the team, or what? Because the team wasn't great the last couple of years. So
yeah, I mean,
and I'm thinking about you going. Surprisingly,
it really wasn't the team per se. One is that I have an opportunity to be a part of a great event going down on opening day with my new radio family, Beat District Radio. So we're having like an opening day big party going down at a Hotel St. Louis. So if y'all are off for Cardinals holiday, which should be a national holiday for St. Louis, but if y'all are free from 12 to 4, come down to Hotel St. Louis downtown and catch me and my Beat District Radio family. We'll be going live. We want to bring the city out, man, and have a good time, celebrate opening day. So I'll be part of those festivities. I ain't got to pay. I just get down there and have a good time and talk some sports and be one with the people and be a part of a dope live broadcast on Beat District Radio. So that's the number one reason why. I was still looking at tickets like, okay, let me wait till the last minute and then look up and get a good seat, right where I want to for a cheaper price. But then the opportunity came with Beat District Radio, and I'm like, well, I guess that solves that problem. So there we go. So like I said, that's the reason why. So I'm excited about it and look forward to it. So speaking of looking forward to, it's time to talk about March Madness. Bunny, I know you've been excited about March Madness, and it's here. As I said before, we had a few games last night, and as you see on the top right on the screen, you have San Diego State, North Carolina. North Carolina did win. You also had Alabama State, which is a HBU, versus St. Francis, and Alabama State won. Thanks to a Duke-like play, Bunny, where they threw the ball full court, player caught it, made a basket in the last few seconds of the game and won the game. So
All that matters. It's exciting. Yes.
yeah, in North Carolina once again. But as you see, we have the bracket. So in the past, we would try I would ask everyone just to make a bracket and give all their predictions and stuff like that. But I'm like, you know what? All I need is just really, who do you have coming out of each place in each spot from the South, East, West, Midwest. So we'll just do it simple like that and go from there. So with that being said, let's go with the South region. The number one seed is Auburn, and you have a lot of great matchups coming up, a lot of great teams going down. So I'll go ahead and start with my prediction, and then Bunny, you'll be second, and Jobo, you'll be last. So who I have coming out from the South region is the number one overall seed, and that is Auburn. They are the number one overall seed once again from the SEC. So I have Auburn going all the way, representing the South, going into the Final Four. In regards to the East, Duke is the number one seed. Now, the one of the top players in all of basketball, a freshman, Cooper Flagg, hurt himself in the ACC tournament. He didn't play after the first round, but Duke still did what Duke did, and they won that tournament. And they are also, once again, a number one seed in the East. And I do have Duke coming out of the East. In the West, Florida from the SEC is the number one seed. And also, Mizzou is in there as the number 6 seed. I do have to go in and say Florida looks mighty good, and I have Florida coming out the West. I can see Mizzou at least going to the Sweet 16, though. If they were to beat Drake, then they will face the winner of Texas Tech and UMC Wilmington, which I have Mizzou going. But then they will have to face off against eventually either Florida or St. John's down the road. And I want to be wrong. Trust me, I want to be wrong. But I don't see right now them beating those two teams. But as of the West, once again, I have the Florida Gators coming out the West. Now, in the Midwest, the number one seed is Houston. And as y'all seen by my predictions so far, I've been going with all the number one seeds. This is where it stops. Because I have from the Midwest coming out is the number 2 seed, and that's Tennessee Volunteers. So I have 3 SEC teams and 1 ACC team going to the Final Four. Before we go to the the championship game matchups, let's go and go to Bunny. Who do you have coming out of the South?
Out the South was 1. I have Auburn.
Okay.
Okay. And that's just a default. They're the number 1 overall seed. And I was like, all right. Sidebar, y'all. I had told my sister this yesterday. She couldn't believe it. The SEC has 16 teams in their conference. 14 of the teams are in the Big Dance. So that tells you something.
I've been saying for the last couple of shows that the SEC has the best conference in basketball. They may be more dominant in basketball than they are in football.
It's like the playing field has changed, especially with the NIL stuff. So all the SEC being so dominant in football, they still top 3, but I think that kind of is more the Big Ten right now. But with basketball, nobody saw this 5 years ago. The SEC would be the conference for basketball, but here we are, 14 teams, and having Auburn is like not a shoe-in, but it's like, dude, if you can beat teams at SEC, you're good because they're really, really good. A lot of the teams are. So that's how I picked Auburn for that. Out of the South, out of which region next? The West?
The East.
East, I have, believe it or not, another SEC team, Alabama.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean they're gonna upset some people to get there, right? Yes.
yeah, I ain't mad.
I'm not, because I said I got it may be overconfident, but I just told y'all about the SEC. Like, we had so many good teams. Look how many number one teams are from this SEC alone. But that's why I'm like, I'm gonna go with Bama over the number one, which is Duke. Duke is gonna fall. No surprise, and I can't wait because I do not like the Blue Devils.
Now,
Even after the Coach K era. So anyway, I got
now, Bunny, real quick. A team that I want people to look at in this tournament from the East is VCU. That's the team.
I have them as my Cinderella team. I have them upsetting Wisconsin.
Yeah,
and Wisconsin's the 3 seeds. I have VCU beating them.
I like VCU. I like VCU.
Every dance for the most part for the last few years, they're not a Cinderella team anymore, even though they're lower seed, because they make it to the Sweet 16 as 11th and 12th seeds. It's consistent. So they actually beat good teams when they get to big dance. Like, that's their time to shine. And this goes back to when I think Shaka Smith was coaching them. That was over 10 years ago.
Smart.
I mean, Shaka Smart. That it got him on the map, and then even after him leaving, other coaches coming. Yeah, VCU, yeah, they're not a surprise anymore. They can at least make the Sweet 16 to me.
Yeah.
What's the next region?
The West.
The West, of course. We got Florida, number one seed, and of course the SEC team. Dum dum dum. No surprise there. And I'm actually picking them, which is a toss-up, because I have Florida facing St. John's, and St. John's is the number 2 seed. All right. And with St. John's facing this team, I was like, it was a close call, because who coaches St. John's? Rick Pitino. And y'all know Rick Pitino knows March Madness inside and out. Been a champion between Kentucky, Louisville. So look, I was torn on that one, but I got Florida defeating St. John's for the West. Last region is, of course, the what is this? Midwest. And the other Cougars. I have University of Houston. So that means it's going to be some well, technically, since they're number 1 seed, they're not going to be any upsets, but I do have them going all the way. I was scared to pick them, you all, because you remember they were number 1 seed. Was that last year? Year before last? And they didn't go far. And one year they did, and they lost the championship. The other time, they didn't go far. So I was on the fence, but I said, I know Sampson knows what he's doing. So there you got it. My 4 picks: Houston, Florida, Bama, and Auburn.
So you also have 3 SEC teams.
Yeah, listen, that's why I started off telling y'all 14 out of 16 teams come from that conference. They're good. And my champion, are we telling you that now, or are we waiting?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right, Jobo, who you got from the South?
Mine's not going to be very detailed like you guys, okay? All right. All right.
Hey.
All right. All right. Just because I hear about this team all the time out of the South, I'm going to go Texas A&M.
Ooh.
Just switching it up. Just switching it up.
Whoa.
All right. And the East, I know Rio last week just said, go blue, this and that. So I'm just going to stay with Duke. I just think it's the easy thing to do. We'll just stick with Duke. Out of the West, I don't like Fred's disloyal talk about MIZ, so I'm going to keep Mizzou in there.
For how long? For the whole region?
Yeah, for the whole thing. Why not?
Ooh, that's gonna bust so many brackets. You're gonna have people ready to off with your head, okay?
Well, good thing I didn't do a bracket this year, so
okay,
it would have been over right away, anyways, regardless.
And now, I'm Team Mizzou. I'm Team. Hey, Missouri, our home state, but they're not there yet. Let's just say that, but they'll get there. Great coach, Dennis Case is gonna get them together.
This is the first time in a while that I've actually seen people pretty excited about it. Same thing as their football program the last year or so. So why not just stick with it? And then out of the Midwest, I'm going to go Houston.
Okay.
All right. So now going back to me, once again, the final 4 that I have is Auburn, Florida, Duke, and Tennessee. So going into the national championship game, the Natty, as they call it, I have Florida, and I have Duke. Florida versus Duke for the Natty. But Bunny, who do you have going to the Natty?
Close. But it ain't Duke because I can't stand them Blue Devils. I got Bama going against Florida. 2 SEC teams, baby. A 1 and 2 seed. Yep. Florida against Bama.
And Jobo.
You guys are making fun of it, but Mizzou and Houston. Boom! Let's go. MIZ, baby.
Girl.
I love it. I
love the wishful thinking. I'm here for the wishful thinking. Let me give it that.
Y'all, this is like a crazy bracket every single year, and you guys have more hope going into a Blues and Cardinal season than you do for Mizzou just being a Cinderella team.
They're not there yet. They're going to be there, but they're not there yet.
Here's the thing, is that Mizzou finds a way to Mizzou. That's the problem.
They just got a lot of losing out of their system a couple weeks ago, so hopefully it's out of there.
But they had some good wins too as well. Again, SEC is very, very challenging. But looking at the non-conference wins against Kansas, that really put Mizzou on the map. People had their, were like, okay, y'all got my attention now. Because think about it, Mizzou was 18 last year. They were winless in the conference, winless. And just set the tone with that KU win, even though it wasn't a conference game. KU was top ranked at the time. People were like, oh, okay, this is definitely a different group. And then here on, they were winning, then they started sliding. But we'll see. It's all I can say. But I don't think this is a Sweet 16 year. But next year, I can see them being a Sweet 16 team.
All right. So the winner of the 2025 Final Four goes down in San Antonio, Texas, baby. The winner is Duke. I'm going.
No, it's not going to happen. You fooled yourself. No.
I am going with Duke to go all the way.
They're going to bust your bracket. They're going to listen. We were talking about SEC, Fred. You should have stayed with at least an SEC team. Come on now.
Hey, you could be right, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with them boys from Chapel Hill. I'm sorry.
Mess when they lose.
Oops. I said Chapel Hill. Wrong.
You mean Tobacco Road, the other one.
Tobacco Road. There we go. Sorry, Duke fans. My bad. Don't cut my head off. All right, Bunny, who you have winning that Natty?
Definitely SEC team, and definitely where the Gatorade was formed. University of Florida. All right. Yes. They suck in football, but they make up for it in basketball, okay?
And last but not least, Jobo.
M-I-Z.
This girl. Oh, my God.
D-O-U. Let's go.
I can't hate on her.
I love it.
Right, I can't hate on the home team. I love her spirit for it.
Let's do it.
I ain't mad. I am not mad at all. All right, so we did the men. We have to show love and do the women. So let's go. There's the bracket for the ladies. They have started their first four tonight, and the national championship game goes down in Tampa Bay. So shout out to the ladies. I think this is going to be another, because we thought last year, with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, well, how can they top that off this year? I think they're going to do that. It's going to be amazing. This upcoming Final Four. I'm sorry, March Madness for the ladies. So let's go to Spokane 1 region, and the team that I have coming out of that region is going to be UCLA, the number 1 overall seed, UCLA Bruins. Coming out of the Birmingham 2 region, the number 1 seed is Texas. I am not going for them. I'm going to show love to a St. Louis native whose team has been amazing throughout the whole season. Had a couple hiccups towards the end of the season, but I'm still going for them. And that's Noel Ivy and Notre Dame. I have them. They are the number 3 seed. I'm sorry, my bad. That's Birmingham 3. I'm sorry, Birmingham 2. Excuse me. I'm going with the number 1 seed of South Carolina, the reigning.
Gamecocks, baby. All right, get it right.
There we go. Reigning defending champs, Don Staley. I gotta rock with South Carolina and Birmingham 2. Excuse me. So I was going off of 3, which, as you all know now, is Notre Dame. And then number 4, the Spokane number 4 region, I am going with Juju and USC as they are the number 1 seed. So once again, Spokane 1 region, I have UCLA. Birmingham 2, I have South Carolina. Birmingham 3, I have Notre Dame. And Spokane 4, I have USC. Bunny, who you rolling with?
All right. I'm nervous, but I guess I'll do it this way. So out of the region where UCLA is in, which that's Spokane, you said?
Yeah, Spokane 1.
Okay. That is them Bruins, baby. UCLA. Okay, all day. Oh, wait a minute. Did I get that right? No. Retract.
Remix.
UCLA is going to face off against LSU, and I have LSU punching their ticket to the Final Four.
Ooh, okay.
No, right?
LSU, the number 3 seed. And hey,
I know. But you know, listen, and Juju's on USC. Sometimes coaching is going to supersede just your great talent because everybody's talented in D1, especially just making a dance. Women is more predictable to me than the men's brackets. But still, you do get upset in there. Sometimes I think coaching is going to supersede it. So I got LSU going over USC to get their ticket in the Final Four. Next region, of course, as you said, my girl, Don Staley, them Gamecocks, baby. 1 seed, riding all the way with them to the Final Four. Now, this next one, again, this is going to be not an upset, but people were trying to bank on it. Because I have USC facing UConn and USC winning. So that means UConn does not make the Final Four. Aha. And last but not least, you said you had Notre Dame. You picked them all the way. I was just going to ride with the number 1 seed, Texas.
All right.
My Final Four is LSU, USC, South Carolina, and Texas.
There we go. All right. Jobo, you up next. Our basketball expert.
LOL. Oh lordy, I had to pull this up.
Can't use Mizzou on this one. Sorry.
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah, that's who's winning this one too.
That didn't even make the NIT, girl.
All right, Spokane 1. I don't understand how these conference things are. Anyways,
the region.
Region. All right, I'm gonna go LSU. And then Birmingham 2. I'm gonna go South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spokane 4. I'm going Iowa, and then Birmingham 3. Notre Dame.
Iowa's still getting love from, even though Caitlin's not there anymore. Okay.
All right. So going back to me, the 2 teams going to the Natty, USC and SC, South Carolina. So Juju Watkins and USC will face off against Don Staley and the reigning, defending, undisputed champions, South Carolina Gamecocks. That's who I have going to the Natty. Bunny, who do you have?
I have LSU defeating USC and then South Carolina defeating Texas. So with LSU going against South Carolina, of course, I have our champions as South Carolina Gamecocks. Go Don Staley and team. Woo-hoo! Without All-American. I think she got 10 All-Americans? It's crazy. They stacked.
All right. So Bunny already let everyone know who her Natty champion is. Jobo, who you have going to the Natty?
Man, real quick. I'm not even a Natty fan, but I would take a Natty right now. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have LSU going up against South Carolina.
All right, LSU versus South Carolina. So everyone has South Carolina, and I, in regards to who's going to win the Natty, Mom, I know you love South Carolina and Don Staley, and I do too. But I gotta go with Juju and
No, don't go against the
all the
team.
way. Juju Watkins is going to hold it down for USC, and they will defeat South Carolina in the Natty. Bunny, you already said South Carolina is going to win it all.
Mm-hmm.
Bobo, who do you have cutting down the nets?
And
Hey,
not MIZZOU, ma'am.
I
Not
was about
that.
to say, all right,
No.
all right, I'll go South Carolina.
here we go.
Woo! All right. That's what I like to hear.
There it is. There it is. So make sure y'all keep mindful, be mindful about our picks because it'll come out next week and then the following week to see how we did throughout this journey for the ladies and for the men. So up next, let's get right into some local topics. St. Louis City SC, Jobo, a nice, respectable start. They're currently 2-0-2. No losses. And the biggest takeaway is that there has been no team this season, Bunny, that has scored against
the
City.
CSC. Yep.
Now,
you know why?
Now there is an issue that just came to my attention earlier. Is that for the next couple of weeks we'll be without our main guy, our number one goalie, Roman Berkey, due to an injury to his hand, I believe. But once again, there has not been a team that has scored against us. We are 2-2, a much better start this year to what we had last season. Joe Bo, give us your thoughts in regards to the start of St. Louis City SC.
Better than last year. We're actually scoring a goal here and there. Last year we could have scored to save our lives. But Berkey's out. And he's the reason why we are where we are. He's the reason why I think fans of the team are still fans of the team. So we'll see what happens, moving forward and how long he will be out. But goalies need their hands, so it's a brutal loss.
Yeah. And my plan is to go to a game this season. It's been season 3, so I definitely have to make my way downtown and check out a game. I may have a connect, so I'm gonna see about that and make it happen. But gotta just experience going to a St. Louis SC game. Bunny, any thoughts in regards to the early start for St. Louis City SC?
Yes, they're winning. Well, they're winning, even though a couple of games that were shutouts, but I'm glad that no one's scoring against us. And as you stated, this is much better than last season we're starting off. So that coaching change definitely helped. Of course, having a bomb goalie helps as well. But City SC is definitely on the up and up. And hopefully we'll be like our first season when we had all those wins. And let's just hope the best. But I will go to a game, I think, because of what do you call it? A family outing that we have set up. I think in May we'll be able to go to a game. So I can't wait.
Yep, most definitely. So once again, shouts out to St. Louis City SC and okay, continue to do what y'all doing. If y'all do not let no one score against y'all gonna have a very great season.
Yeah, most teams would. Yeah.
You're gonna have a very great season. So our last topic of the evening, MLB opening day. So we already had the Cubs and the Dodgers. They faced off in Tokyo. The Dodgers won both games. So the season did start for those two teams, but everything officially goes down next Thursday for opening day. And as I said before at the beginning of the show, I will not be going to opening day for the first time in almost 10 years. Because I'll be going to a opening day party gathering at Hotel St. Louis with my Beat District Radio family. So come through Hotel St. Louis right downtown. Just put on Google. You'll see the address and come on through if y'all are off and enjoy some time with us from 12 to 4. But open day will be here next week, Jobo. And I do want to start off, of course, with the Cardinals because, that's the hometown team. Even though Jobo's rocking the Astros jersey, and they did come out with some dope new jerseys for the upcoming year, so that's pretty tight. But we have to give our predictions. But before we do that, some news from Katie Woo that more than likely now things can change, Joe. And I know that you and Stan are reminding me to not have high hopes, which I said also before. Coming to the season, don't expect this team to win. To win the World Series. I'll say that. It should be a reset year, but because we still have Arenado, they don't really know what to call it. It's like 1 minute it's supposed to be let the young guys play. Let's find out who's gonna do this, who's gonna be the future of our team. But now because we still have Arenado, it's like, okay, well, now we got to make the best of what we have. And Joe, if you were Victor Scott the second, and you've had an amazing spring training, and more than likely you will be told that because you have done so good in spring training and you have outshined majority of the outfield in spring training, because we want to keep you playing every day, we want to reward you by sending you down to AAA Memphis. If you're Victor Scott, Joe, how would you feel about that? Because that's a very good possibility that because they want to keep him in the lineup every day and they can't guarantee a spot for him in the lineup every day, because we still have Arenado, he may not be on the open day roster, even though he's been performing incredibly well. Joe, your thoughts on that?
Well, first, it just sucks to say that I don't even think this Victor Scott would be because of Nato. It's just the fact that the team loves Siani so much, and that's why it would happen. Even though Siani has had a brutal, awful, disgusting, offensively, spring, and that's from start to finish. So that's the part that sucks. I don't want to hear him say it's because they want to get him consistent at bats and this and that, blah blah. Yeah, you do, but if you want to put the best team out there and give a young guy the most at bats, you would put him out there anyways. Victor Scott. I mean, he started last year on opening day. Why not now? So I don't think it's an Arenado problem for that. But I mean, I'd be pissed off. But I mean, hopefully he's hungry. Go down there, work on whatever you're supposed to work on, and it's just like the Astros though. Like Cam Smith, he probably should be on the opening day roster. No one knows if he will be, but he's still up in spring training right now with the big club, and he's hitting homers off Major League Baseball pitchers, and so it's just like every team does it, and they have their reasons, and I mean it's going to be annoying because Siani's not going to hit as well as Victor Scott's going to, but his defense is pretty. I don't know. It sucks because I like I said last week, I think our offense is going to be better than our defense this year, and that's probably part of the reason why they're going to keep Siani over Scott, even though Scott's not a bad defender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel like it's a certain excitement that Victor Scott brings to the team that is needed, but and to a certain degree, I do understand that they don't want to have him sitting on the bench. And the reason why I say it's because of Arenado is because of the law jam. Because if Arenado was on the team, then you would have had Gorman at third base, and then Brandon Donovan would be at second base every day. Then Newbar would be at left field every day, and then boom, it paves the way for Victor Scott. So that's why I say it has to be because of the log jam that Arenado is going to bring, because now certain guys can't be in certain positions. But like I said, as much as I hate it, I do have to understand the reason why Victor Scott may not be on the team. It's not because of lack of talent or, he wasn't worthy. It's just that they don't want him to be on the bench 4 to 5 days out the week, where he can play every day and stay active and stay in rhythm. So if and when someone goes down, he'll be ready to go ahead and take over that spot and remain the center fielder, because he shouldn't be playing left field or right field like he's been doing in spring training. That's just to give Newbar an opportunity just to be in center field in case. But like I said, it sucks. But I do, as I think about it more and more, I understand you don't want to have a great talent just sitting on the bench and having them be only used for late game situations. He's too good of a guy to have him be on the bench every day.
So I guess, though, the question is, if it's because of that, and Newbar's been getting center field reps, the outfield's still not going to be Donnie, Newbar, Walker. They won't do that because Siani's going to start all the time. So that's why I don't get it, really. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. Because I don't think Newbar's going to be our opening day center fielder. I think he's going to be our opening day left fielder.
I do think that Newbar will be the everyday center fielder. That's the thing I do feel, because they want to make sure that Gorman is still getting that bats and make sure Burleson, who will more likely be the DH, while Donovan's playing left field and Gorman's playing second base. They want to make sure they get Gorman in the lineup every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's not a bad thing to have guys, I mean, injuries happen. The Dodgers have 5,000 outfielders that they can use, and they always make it work out. So why can't the Cardinals? It sucks because, like we talked about last week, outfield has been such a problem for the Cardinals for 10 years now. We can't have a consistent outfield, and it's aggravating. And now it's like, okay, now a kid that's performing well, ended the year well in the big leagues last year, it's probably going to start in AAA. Which, I mean, like, why rush them? But still, it just sucks.
Yeah, Bunny, any thoughts?
Yes. So not about Victor Scott, but Jordan Walker. Let's talk about that. The hype, y'all. This is the third year we're going to the hype of Jordan Walker. Dum, dum, dum. What do we see is going to happen? So in a competitive, perfect world, we see a steady lineup. We see Jordan Walker getting the at-bats he needs, the adjustments. Also kind of leave him alone, because the Cardinals, we're doing too much, especially for a rookie and a second-year guy. But anyway, I see realistically, though, I told y'all perfect Cardinals world, but now let's be realistic. I see them playing around with Walker again, sending him down to AAA again. Like,
they ain't doing that again.
Retool. Yeah, go ahead, Jumbo, because it's just frustrating.
They're not going to do that again. Like, they know how much shit they're going to get if they do that again. They can't keep doing that to him. Why
not? They've already been effing up as an organization the last 2 years.
Because they can't go out and say what they're saying about this year, whether it's retool, rebuild, transition. You can't say all those words and do what you did to Jordan Walker the last 2 years this year. It can't happen. This year you have to see what you got out of it.
But I see them doing it. That's the thing that did this last year. Oh my God. I know you said in the offseason with the whole transition, this would be what's our buddy president Mosaic last year and all the other crap, but still, that don't mean their mindset has changed. They don't even have to retool or rebuild. They could have spent money. We've been talking about this for how many years, y'all? Like three years now.
No, I'm just saying though,
avoid it if you opened your wallet, but you choose not to. You want to do the old. Let's go back to the minor league system farm, get them built up, then bring them up. But then, because oh my God, my brain.
Everyone in baseball knows that if Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman don't pan out this year, that the Cardinals are effed for the future. This year should be called the Walker Gorman year because that's what it is. Not a retool, not a whatever. It's
Okay.
you're
Okay.
putting
Let's go
everything
with
on
it.
those two guys. That's what it is. That's what everyone's known before they mentioned that it's going to
Right.
be a retool year. It's what that has to happen. They
But
have
let's
to be.
just say, pan this out. Walker, Gorman live up to the hype. They're doing what we want them to do, and then some. Your offense, great. How else are you supposed to be a better organization? Oh, that's right, pitching. Dun, 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 which we don't have. Ain't y'all talking about, oh, Sonny Gray's the starter. Oh, he's going to listen. And a competitive team, Sonny Gray literally may be the third of the rotation, but more than likely he'll be a fourth man in the rotation, okay? So let's be real. With this retool, with the pitcher prospects they have, it still seems like we're going to have a not competitive season.
I think we have decent pitching prospects.
We thought that before last year. And look what happens.
No, I have not thought the pitchers in our system have been good probably since 2012, 2013 up to 2015. Like this is probably the best it's been in a long time. It's still not top pitching prospects in all of baseball. Like, but they got names out there. They got Graceffo, they got McGreevy, they got Quinn Matthews, they got Cooper Jerpy. You know, that they got guys that everyone in baseball talks about now. Zach Thompson, who's hurt all the time, Andre Palante, who's going to be in the rotation this year. So they have guys to work with. It's just they got to wait till Miles Michaelis is off the books. Steven Matz, thank God he's off the books after this year, and then you can start bringing these guys up. But yeah, this is the most confident I've been about our pitching depth in a long time.
And Sonny Gray has a no trade clause, right?
Yeah, trust me. Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras would have been gone this offseason when Mo asked them if they would like to be traded, and they said no. So, I mean, it's just, that's why I was saying that Kent Rosenthal and Jeff Passan were idiots with their articles because we asked them if they want to be traded. They don't want to be traded. So what can you do?
And I'm going to say it now because he's in a position where he should not get hurt unless he gets hit in the head by a fastball. Wilson Contreras is going to have he's going to be a top 3 first baseman in all of baseball. I'm saying it now.
Yeah, I think if Bryce Harper could do it, Wilson Contreras could do it. And yes. I think Wilson Contreras is going to have a great year this year.
Yes. Good. Yes. I am. He's excited. He's looking forward to it. He's one of them guys where he wants to be better, and he's already stated how he wants to learn what he can, do what it takes to be the best. And he has that he has that work ethic. He just has to stay healthy. And him not being a catcher anymore, now he's in a different phase in his life, and he should be able to play 160 games straight up, maybe 165 games for real. And if he does that, oh my God, because I said this last week, I think he was already on a MVP pace before he got hurt last year. That's how good he was. So you get him at first base and he's solid and he plays every day. Yes, this Cardinal team may shock some people, which leads us to our MLB standing. So let's get right into it. As you see on the screen, we're going to break down who do we have winning each division, then the wild card, and then who's going to go to the league championship games, who's going to go to the World Series, and of course, our World Series winners. So, up first, the American League East. Jobo, who do you have coming out of the American League East?
Disclaimer real fast. I was sitting there eating dinner, making my standings. And besides the NL West, I think every division's up for grabs, honestly. I'm being serious. Like, I'm looking at it.
Right there, wasn't expecting.
I really do think every division is up for grabs because I'm in the East. Let's talk about the East real quick.
I agree.
The Blue Jays did get better. They added Santander and Max Scherzer. They traded for Andres Jimenez. You got Bo Bichette on a walk year and Vladdy on a walk year. They want to get paid this offseason, so that's that. The Rays, they're going to be playing in a minor league park all their home games. The Yankees minor league park. They got Shane McClanahan coming back. They got Kim from the Padres for their shortstop. So and their pitching's just always good. The Yankees lose Garrett Cole for the year. They are going to be without Stanton for a while. Their third base is up in the air. O's don't have Grayson Rodriguez or Andrew Kittredge, and Gunnar Henderson's questionable for opening day. And then Boston so far hasn't really had any injuries, and they added Alex Bregman. And they got some studs like Christian Campbell, and Marcelo Meyer, and I'm forgetting another big one, but it's all over the place. Every single one of those teams I named something about, and between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox are the ones that haven't had any injuries. But I can't trust the Blue Jays, so I'm gonna go with the Red Sox winning the division.
Woo. Okay, Bunny.
I'm not going to analyze this in depth as Jobo did, so I'm gonna just do any, mini, miny, mo. But this one's more of a chew-in. Them damn Yankees.
Yeah. I thought about this long and hard. Pause. I thought about it. I'm like, man, okay, let me kind of break it down and see, okay, who has the least chance? And I'm like, okay, Tampa Bay, no. They got too many issues, especially with their home place. Blue Jays, like you brought up, Joe, they added some pieces. But if for some reason in the playoffs, like you just can't trust them. They gone. Red Sox, I like some of the moves they made. Your boy Bregman, now playing there. But I'm just not sure about them. Something in me just not like, okay, they can go all the way in the East. Got them slashed. Orioles, very talented team. Look forward to seeing what the young Holiday is going to do. What's his name? Not Ethan, but what's his name? Jackson Holiday. Thank you very much. But when the lights are bright in the playoffs, I got to stick with the Yankees because I like Goldie on that team, and Goldie playing in New York in a different situation. I think he's just going to go crazy. Bellinger, I think he's going to go crazy in right, with that right field porch. I know Garrett Cole out for the year, but the Yankees know how, even though they say they don't have the money, when push come to shove, they find a way to get the guy they want. So I think they still have enough, and Stanton will be back eventually, and Judge is still Judge. So I'm still going to go with the Yankees in the AL East. Up next, AL West. Jobo.
Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna have. All right. Anyways. So Angels are in last, and Smooth. I can't believe last year you said the Angels are gonna be a wild card team. I can't forget it.
I was high. Sorry.
That's his story. He's sticking to it.
Did you see Ron Washington's new rule, by the way?
Oh, what is it?
The guys can't even be at their own locker and look at their cell phones now. Doesn't want that to happen. Telling grown men they can't look at their cell phone in the locker room, like before and after a game.
I mean, you think about it. You got a third baseman that you sign a huge mega deal that can't stay healthy for one day. Then Mike Trout keeps getting injured. He lost Shohei, and I don't know who else on that team now. So
yeah, the team's weird looking this year. Like they made the moves to get better for what the Angels are. Like they added Yusei Kikuchi, they added Kyle Hendricks, which thank God he's not a Cub anymore, so we might win a couple more games this year. In our division, they added Jorge Soler and Travis d'Arnaud. So like they made moves.
Oh, did. Well, with that being said, never mind.
You better not. Mariners, the bats. The pitching's great, but George Kirby is questionable right now, and the bats are their bats. They just don't hit. Oakland A's, I'm excited about this year, but I don't think they're going to win the division. Rangers spooked me a little bit just because they added Jack Peterson and Jake Berger. Those are two guys that are, contact power hitters. But I got to go Stros. I'm sorry, I can't. They added Christian Walker, Isaac Paredes. You got Brendan Rodgers as a depth piece. The bullpen's got depth, and I don't know. I mean, you got Jordan still, and Yainer Diaz. I mean, Jeremy Pena's been looking good. They still got a good lineup, and their pitching's young and great. So, and Fromber's on a contract year, so I would not be surprised if he doesn't go out and dominate like he always does.
All right, Bunny, who you got from the AL West?
Make this real simple, y'all. Because the Mariners made their first appearance and God knows when, 20 plus years last year?
2 years
I have
ago.
them,
3 years
believe
ago.
it or not, over your Stros, Jobo. I can see them if they don't do the division, at least a wild card, but I'm just gonna do a wild one. What I have to lose, Seattle. They may have some more momentum now this year and actually know how to dethrone the Stros and take the West.
It's not looking good right now, Joe, with Altuve in left field.
Yeah. I mean, I wish he would just stay at second, and with Cam Smith, they have him playing in the outfield right now too, and the way he's just taking at bats and destroying the ball, I would go Cam Smith, Jake Myers, Chas McCormick. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I trust Altuve will do fine once it's out there. He's made 2 bad plays, but I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. But with that being said, I still have the Astros because they're still just too damn good in that division. Gonna come out the West. Let's go with the AL Central, Jobo.
I think this division I had exactly how it ended up last year. And it could even still be just up in the air. White Sox, everyone knows. They suck. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Twins, Royce Lewis is already gonna be out this year with another quad or hammy issue. The guy just can't stay healthy. Tigers, they didn't do enough for me during the offseason. They're pretty much bringing back the same team they had last year. Royals, I like the moves that they did make, and they made it to the playoffs last year, but I think I gotta stick with the Guardians. I know they lost Josh Naylor, but they brought back Carlos Santana. Well, Shane Bieber's gonna be back at some point. They still got Clase as their closer. I just think they're like the Brewers of the AL. They're always going to be there you don't understand why, but they're probably going to win their division.
So this was a tough one too, because I feel like this division can be pretty competitive outside of the White Sox. But I'm going to go with the momentum that the Detroit Tigers had going to the playoffs last year. I'm going to roll with AJ Hinch and the Detroit Tigers. Didn't Flaherty sign back with them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going with the Detroit Tigers. Bunny stepped away, so she'll give her predictions later on in regards to the AL Central. Let's get to the NL. So up next we have, we'll pull up the screen here. All right, NL East. This was tough. Who do you have coming out the NL East?
Yeah, this is another tough one just because, obviously Marlins aren't going to be anything. Nationals, they got a lot of young talent coming up, and they're looking promising, like James Wood and Cruz, but they're not there yet. But then the 3 remaining teams, they're just so they're just so talented, so stacked. The Mets, they are without a couple starters right now, but they added some guy named Juan Soto and brought back Pete Alonso. You got the Braves, who they're going to get Spencer Strider back at some point this year, and Acuna Jr. And then you got the Phillies with that rotation they have, and some guy named Bryce Harper, like Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Castellanos. And I think I'm going to stick with the Phillies in this division.
Ooh.
That's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
Okay. Well, I am. This like you said, it was tough. Had to nerve it down as well, and you can't go wrong with choosing the Braves, Mets, or Phillies. But I'm going to go ahead and ride that New York Mets train. Juan Soto, Lindor. People forget Lindor could have easily won MVP last year if it wasn't for Ohtani.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He was right there. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Mets will come out of the East. And the NL West, pull this up. There we go. Oh, that's Central. My bad. NL West, we have. Oops, did I even have the team on here? Maybe I didn't. Oh, no, I don't think I did have them on here. Okay, yep, my mistake. NL West, I forgot to add them on here, but I can do this. Give me 1 second so everyone can see. This is the power of just having your own show, being your own producer. You can go ahead and make it happen on the spot. So let's go ahead and do this here. And let's see. NL West. There we go. Let's pull it up. Bam! There we go.
That's fast. So,
who do you have coming out of the West Side?
All right, I think everyone's gonna have their same reasons, but I'm gonna work my way up 5-1. And I want to talk through it. Rockies are ass, so obviously they're not there.
Man,
it ain't happening.
Speaking of that, man, I mean, can you think of a worse decline in a career than Chris Bryant?
I don't know what happened.
My God.
It was, Cubs traded off everyone. He went to the Giants and was okay there. And then he signed a fat contract with the Rockies, and I don't even know if he's played 162. It's sad. But, yeah, Rockies are no bueno. They're not great. You want to know who I got for?
Fourth. Let's see. Man, the Padres? What?
All right, listen.
Whoa.
It's crazy. It's because the Dodgers are obviously the Dodgers, but like the Padres have been talking about possibly trading Cease and Keane all offseason. Just came out yesterday. Yu Darvish is not going to be ready for the home opener. Joe Musgrove got TJ at the end of the last year. So right now they got Keane, Cease, Suarez, and the knuckleballer Waldron. And they got Nick Pivetta. So they can still fill out a rotation, but it's not. There's just like questions all around, and they don't have Kim there anymore. They were trying to trade Arise. What happened to them in the playoffs last year? Everyone thought the Padres were just going to shock the world and beat the Dodgers.
They were one game away.
And then they couldn't score a single run after that.
So my question is, why would they try to move Arias when he was one of their most dependable hitters?
Money, because he's got money on his contract, and same thing with like Cease and Keane. They're free agents at the end of this year, and they want to try to get what they can for them.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong; like they still got Tatis and Jackson Merrill and Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts, who hasn't been great since he's been there, but they still got names. But I don't know, just. It's been a weird offseason for them. They try to sell off people. There was the fight with the Seiler family and the Padres and stuff. So, I don't know.
So, your number 3 team, I'm a guess the Giants.
Yeah. Willie Adames added to the team. Matt Chapman had a better year last year. They added Justin Verlander. I don't know. The pitching, they got a lot of pitching depth. And I don't know. I just like what I'm seeing from them. D-backs, number 2, added Corbin Burns, and it's not known by everyone, but they were the best offense in all of baseball last year. So, I mean, if Corbin Carroll can start off hot like he ended last year, they got Gurriel, they got Eugenio Suarez, Cattell Marte, Perdomo, and now they have Josh Naylor at first instead of Christian Walker. Still, and Gabriel Moreno behind the plate. Like, that's a good offense right there with Corbin Burns in the rotation. I got to go with the D-backs second, but obviously the Dodgers are, they didn't even have Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman playing these games in Japan, and they just Tommy Edman and Kike Hernandez are hitting homers in Japan last night or this morning, whatever. So,
thank you for bringing it up. Someone who we haven't talked about in regards to their long list of Cardinals that got away, and we're looking back now like, man, maybe we should have kept him. Tommy Edman. Your thoughts on him, and do you feel that that the Cardinals did the right thing by letting him go? Because he is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. He's productive everywhere he goes. He's just a great, solid, winning player. Should he be mentioned in the same ranks as like Alcantara and even though his situation was different, Adolis Garcia, and of course, my boy who now plays for the Mariners but played with the Rays, Randy Rosarena. Should he be in the same list as those guys, as guys that shouldn't have left the Cardinals?
Well, I think the difference between the two are the three guys you just named, and if you want to add Zach Gallen to that list as well, is those guys never really got opportunities. Tommy Edman's been here since 2019. Last year he had his wrist injury. I think he had wrist surgery. Cardinals didn't want to mention it until like spring training last year, and at the time, it was, hey, we get Tommy Pham and Eric Fetty, and all we have to do is get rid of our injured guy. In hindsight, like, you could say, yeah, it sucks, but we didn't get an extension with Tommy Edman, and we have a lot of guys on our team that could be a Tommy Edman, like Brennan Donovan. He's the same type of player. So, it sucks. It sucks, but I don't think anyone's surprised that he's out there winning NLCS MVPs, and now he's got a ring and he's hitting home runs in Japan. I don't think anyone would be surprised about that.
Bunny, who you got come out the West?
How the West was won NL edition. Those reigning champions, the Dodgers. However, I feel this season they're going to feel some pressure, much better pressure from the Padres.
Ooh.
That's a wild card. That's not on y'all bingo card, but look out. Just look out. Just saying.
Now, Jobo has them in 4th place this year.
The Padres?
Yes.
Mommy,
I'm not going to get you
my
She
apologies.
too.
Say hi. So I don't think they can't see from over there, but I don't see them being in 4th place just because after the last season.
Mommy.
Okay, hold on. Come here. You're doing too much. Say hi.
Hi.
Tell them you're ready for baseball season. Do you think
that baseball season?
Yes.
There we go.
All right. So 4th place, the Jobo, the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the offensive lineup they have, I'm not sure about what they did for the pitching, but that shit wasn't great. But they did get it together too late. But I'm just saying, I think they'll have them better momentum this year. They're going to put pressure on the Dodgers, and I can see them getting 2nd place, even wild card. But the Dodgers are going to run away with this if they don't have any injuries and they buy this World Series championship again.
Even if they have injuries, they got so much depth. They just gave Michael Conforto $17 million just because they wanted to. They didn't need to, but they just wanted to. They had Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. They took Tanner Scott away from the Padres.
Yeah.
They didn't need Kirby Yates, but they added him for fun.
I just feel like this team here is a team that embraces the pressure. They They just out here just having fun.
They signed Kim from the Korean League or whatever from Korea, and optioned him to AAA. Like
Yeah,
he's not even with the major league club, so they gave him millions of dollars, and he's not even going to be on the major league club.
yeah.
They're
They
keeping that roster stacked for the future. Something the Cardinals won't do. If it's not from the farm system, Cardinals ain't thinking about it. But that's stuff they should have been doing when it's time to open up the wallets. Grab up these other players that are just waiting. You know, it's good, but too much like right.
Yeah, they are just, as Joe brought up earlier, just too deep. And I also have the Dodgers winning. So now the NL Central. This should be interesting. Start off with you, Bunny. Who you have winning the NL Central?
Yeah, I say up for grabs. This one to me is the up for grabs only because excuse me, the Brewers for the last few years start off dominating, right? By All-Star break. Great record. They should run away with it. After All-Star break, they fall off. We know the Pirates again are going to be competitive, but then let's throw in the Cubs. They've gotten better again, so they're going to put pressure on the Brewers. We thought the Reds were supposed to do that last year, and that didn't pan out. I don't know if that's supposed to happen this year, but definitely up for grabs. But between the Brew Crew and the Cubbies, the Cardinals I put right in the middle. I still see we should be better than the Buccos, but the Reds I'm not sure. So I don't have it. Let's just say Brew Crew for now, but I think that's going to change by the end of the year.
And Jobo.
Yeah, Pirates pitching's great. They might lose Jared Jones, but they just don't have any offense. The Reds, they got the talent, I think, but the last year or so people have been saying that, and they haven't been able to put it all together. I got the Cardinals finishing in third. I think we're, like you said, Bonnie, middle of the pack. I think the team will surprise people this year. More like I think everyone's just kind of riding them off altogether. Cubs coming in second. I got the Brewers, like I said earlier, Smooth with the Guardians. The Brewers are just that team of the NL. They're always there. I know they lost Willie Adames, who hit almost 40 homers last year and over 100 RBIs, Gold Glove defense, and lost their closer Devin Williams to the Yankees, but they just somehow, some way figure it out every single year, and I'm tired of questioning it and saying, hey, they're not going to do it this year because they lost so and so. It's going to keep happening.
So for me, you thought that I was crazy about my AL West pick last year. My pick for the NL Central is going to be the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
And Joe, you brought up, which was going to be my reasoning. They have the talent. De La Cruz, the pitching, they have a lot of young, youthful guys who are hungry, who are ready to win. And with them getting Terry Francona, that coach is just a winner. He knows how to use the pieces that he has, kind of like Jim Montgomery for the Blues, and makes each player better. They bounce off each other and they learn how to win. And I feel like that was the biggest signing in the NL Central, was getting Terry Francona, a very known winner of a manager.
I think a lot of people, I don't know, we'd have to bring back the tapes, but you might have said the Cubs first place last year because of Craig Counsell, though.
I did.
Okay, I was gonna say. So I mean, I agree. Terry Francona, he's gonna make that team better just being there. But who knows? I mean, like again last year, it was looking promising, and then they lost Matt McLean in spring training, and then one of their prospects popped for PEDs, and now this year it's Rhett Lauder, one of their top prospects. He's having arm problems already and stuff. So, and then just that ballpark, I don't think it helps them and it hurts them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we'll see though. I mean, I don't like playing the Reds. Back in the day, it used to be like, oh yay, here's a dub. Now it's not like that anymore. So
right, it was a series they had last year here in St. Louis that had me like, man, this team is playing like they having fun. and that was the Reds. And it had me be like, man, the organization is doing more than what the Cardinals are doing now. It's like they're getting it, and they're playing their style of baseball. And now that you're adding Francona to that team, that just may be the kick that they needed to get over that hump. So we'll see. So now,
Ellie De La Cruz is fun to watch.
exactly. So now it's time to determine who is our 3 wild card teams. Now, Bunny, you wasn't on for the AL Central and the NL East. Who did you have for the AL Central?
AL Central. Oh, why not? Those Guardians. They're really good last few years. The Twins were supposed to be good last year and they fell apart. So I don't want to put my faith in them. So we'll go with the Guardians.
And then who did you have for the NL East?
NL East. We know the Mets was a bust with their $1 billion payroll, but the Braves should be able to do it as long as everybody's healthy. I think they can pull it off.
All right.
Really,
So now,
we'll put pressure on them though, FYI.
So now, what 3 teams from the American League will go to the wild card round? You up first, Bunny.
Well, if I didn't have the division winner right, I gave it alternate. So East, what I have to lose, right? Blue Jays. West, Stros. Central, Twins.
All right, Joe Bo, who you got coming out of the American League for the 3 wild card spots?
All right, I am going the Rangers, and then no wild card teams from the Central this year. Last year, 3 teams in the Central made it, but I'm gonna go with the O's and the Yankees getting wild card spots.
For me, this is I got the Royals. And then I have the Orioles and the Red Sox. For the NL side, Bunny, who do you have?
For which one?
The NL.
Wild card.
Yep, you're 3.
Philly. Like I said, Padres. That put pressure on the Dodgers, and the Cubs.
All right, Joe Bo.
I have the D-backs, and then no one out of the Central again, and I have the Braves and the Mets.
All right, I have the Phillies, I have the Padres, and I have the Braves. So now we're getting down to who will represent the American League in the World Series. Bunny, who do you have?
In the AL, you said, correct?
Yep.
All right. Will it be a repeat from last year? No, but it possibly. But let's just say the Guardians may finally get their chance. This is definitely not on anybody's bingo card. Because I would say the Yankees, but I'm like, can they repeat? It's hard to do it 2 years in a row, y'all. So we'll go with the Guardians.
Okay, Guardians going to the World Series. Woo. Joe Bo.
Bingo card, not even close.
Sorry. Who do you have from the National League going to the World Series?
Dodgers. That's Dodgers.
Dodgers. Got you. All right, Joe Bo, AL, American League.
I got Stros versus the O's, and I don't know why I'm picking the O's because they can't win a game. They haven't won a playoff game since 2014, but I'm gonna pick the O's.
All right, and National League.
I have a Dodgers Mets rematch in the CS, and I just think Cohen will do whatever it takes to get what he wants at the deadline, and I'll just have the Mets.
What? The upset special, the Mets over the Dodgers.
Now listen,
But
we
that's
can't
what
just
we
pick
saw
the
last
Dodgers every
year.
single year, you know. Well, What's fun about that? Just saying the Dodgers are gonna do it every single year.
All right. Well, I have a repeat, which means the Yankees will come out of the American League, and I have the Dodgers coming out of the National League, which leads to our World Series champs. So, with that being said, Bunny, who do you have?
And I just stated it's hard to repeat. As dumb as the Dodgers are, I could see them being the repeat. And again, in any sport, it's hard, a two-peat. But the Dodgers, we said it earlier, it's so fucking stacked. So even they have injuries, they got people ready to go. So I see them being, World Series champions again. Just buy your championships, why don't you?
All righty. So you have the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Jobo, who's going all the way?
I'm gonna say the O's.
Okay, Baltimore. And I have the Dodgers. So I'm joining Bunny in regards to the repeat. There we go. We got our MLB predictions out the way.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. We got all our predictions from March Madness and with the MLB baseball season. So definitely gotta stay tuned to see how we do throughout the next few weeks and of course for baseball season the next few months. But ladies, this has been another fun show. By this time next week, it'll be of course the Man Cave, but we'll be getting ready for the official start for everyone else, should I say, baseball season. But with that being said, as you see on the screen, next week it is the Man Cave where anything can go down. So make sure y'all tune in next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ladies, thank y'all for your time. Continue to have a healthy pregnancy, Jobo.
I miss beer.
Hey, it's only temporary, hon. It's only temporary.
Oh,
And
make
Bunny,
up for it next year. By the time you stop breastfeeding, make up for it. That's what you do.
and Bunny, what's the update with your parents' home and the tree situation?
So they had the tree is still there on the window, front porch, and a little bit of the roof. My parents were out of town when this happened on Friday. Thank goodness nobody was hurt because nobody was home. But they got a quote from a couple of people. So now it's just getting time in to get to start removing that tree. That process, we don't know how long it's going to take as far as the person actually coming to get there. I saw people working today in other parts, but it's been so windy.
Right.
It's almost like deja vu, like you want to start on it, but then you got to do it all that again. So, yeah, that hopefully it'll be resolved by this weekend. But the guy got to let us know when he'll be out there to start the work.
Yeah. And then with us, just getting insurance claim and stuff like that going. Once again, just rebuilding, and I know that our neighborhood will be back or will be even better than what it was before. One of the biggest things for us was, unfortunately, it took a tornado, but we was able to meet more people in our community, in our neighborhood.
You brought everybody together. That's good.
So hopefully this is the start of us once again coming together more and once again rebuild, reclaim what we have and reset and just make it, restore and make it even better than what it was before.
Sound like the Cardinals right now saying all these words.
Right.
Hey, Jobo.
Right. Yeah, but thank y'all once again for tuning in to your Wednesday night sports delight. Once again, it is your boy Smooth, and it was a pleasure to have y'all on. Make sure y'all once again go ahead and show us love everywhere on social media. Give us a follow all across social media. Listen to us on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. Every first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. Every last Wednesday, you have the Man Cave. Every Thursday, you have Smooth Conversations on YouTube. Smooth Conversations, Smooth with 3 O's. and also on Beat District Radio. Go to beatdistrictradio.com or go to the app Live 365. Just put in Beat District and add Beat District Radio as a favorite and tune in to not just my incredible podcast, Smooth Conversation, but everything that we have under the Beat District Radio as well. Appreciate the family allowing me to be part of the fam and part of doing some great things. So everyone, thank y'all very much. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week and stay tuned, stay smooth.
What you have just experienced was brought to you by Smoooth Productions. Until next time, stay tuned and stay smooth.